Hello guys, how are you? This is Beyond Dash OK and I'm bringing you another video. As I'm doing this, the sun is entered Pisces and it's a good time to be doing this. I was actually musing over this because I've put out a podcast about Saturn in Pisces, and I've put out a video for all the signs, and now I'm putting out a third video because I want to talk about like the spiritual aspects, like spiritual musings for Saturn in Pisces for all the signs. And when I say that, because my Mercury is in Pisces, so sometimes when if I'm lying down and I'm thinking about something, it comes to me, but then I can forget. So I have to be very, and now that Saturn is edging into Pisces, this is a great time for me to be writing things down that come into my head. So with that being said, yes, I wanted to talk about like the spiritual musings, spiritual aspects to Pisces for all the signs. And when I say that, when I looked at the chart of when Saturn's in Pisces, it's very surprising because Virgo, we have the Virgo full moon. And the Virgo full moon's in the third house for this, especially in the UK. And what this brings for us as a collective is that, it's going to be an opposition, okay? Because the sun's in Pisces, moon's in Virgo. And what this brings, especially with it being in the third house, which is a Mercury house, is that emotionally, we can all feel very much in our heads. And for some of us, it will be very easy. But for a lot of us, it will be quite hard because, we're all emotional beings. But in the world that we're living in now, logical is the key. And it's not necessarily the best thing. So with the moon being in Virgo in the third, this is going to bring like heightened awareness for us when it comes to our work life, our pets, like employment, our health and our wellness. It can also make us feel that because Virgo, a lot of us don't actually talk about this because Virgo, I personally, obviously it's the general, but there's some Virgos that I know, they have a lot of anxiety. And I feel that can be extremely heightened. Remember, this is going to be a 3-year transit. It's going to feel actually longer because we have the Saturn conjunct Neptune in Pisces, then it goes into Aries. So it's going to actually feel longer. And not only that, we had that, the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction last year for the next 13 years. So we're going to feel like we're in this like fog of Pisces for a very long time. But yeah, so with this transit, a lot of planets are going to be staying there for the next 3 years, even though like the nodes will change after a while, Uranus will change, still how it's placed, like on this day, if like the moon's in Virgo, the north nodes in Taurus and Scorpio, that's going to be like that for the next 3 years, okay? So it's actually a good idea to see where the nodes are in your house chart. For instance, like, if you're Virgo, the nodes natally are in your 3rd and your 9th houses, yeah? But in your house chart, it might be in your 2nd and 8th, okay? So it's really good to look at where the nodes are when Saturn's in Pisces, even though it's in Taurus and Scorpio, look where it is. Also, yeah, so that's one of the most important things, obviously, you can look where Pisces is in your chart, for sun, moon and rising. Look where it is in your house chart, where Pisces, and also even the house ruler Neptune. Because the reason why I say all this, guys, and before I say that, other themes, look where Jupiter is in your sign, Jupiter, and look where Aries is, because these are also going to be trailing for the next 3 years. Uranus and Taurus, look where that is as well. I said Neptune already. Also look at where Pluto is, and also Capricorn. And what's the other one? Yeah, and also Mars. Look where Mars and Gemini is in your chart. Because these things, I'm sounding like a broken record, but this is going to be trading for the next 3 years. Regardless of what happens, guys, especially because Saturn's in Pisces. The conversations with the other planets, even though they're not making a huge aspect to it, it's still going to be telling a bigger story for us. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to put this video out, because I feel it's really important. It's going to give like an overall picture. So also other things I looked at when I looked at the chart for this is that we have the ascendant is in Leo and also the 10th house is in Aries. And what this shows for me is that things are going to be going out in a bang. Things are going to be pushed out into the open. Things that we want to say, we want to do. It could also definitely be the Leo themes of, because Leo doesn't make a huge aspect to Pisces. It's an in conjunction. But still, the fact that the ascendant is Leo, it feels like what was hidden is going to be coming out in full force. And it could definitely be the Leo themes. It definitely could be creativity. Things that we kept hidden is going to be coming out bang. Themes to do with children. Themes to do with people working for themselves. There could be a lot more of us showing emotion. There could be a lot more of egotistical themes as well, wanting praise, admiration. We could be quite mouthy, but showing that, you know, I am here, look at me, this is what I'm about. And even with the 10th house being in Aries as well, it's like this go-getting energy of like, okay, bam, this is what we're going to do. This is how things are going to be. It can be very, very creative, but also very ambitious when it comes to our career. Wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard. There's a lot of like, I feel there's with Saturn being in Pisces, a lot of strength and determination to be starting something new. Enterprises, action, courage, energy, a lot of things that's connected to our physical body as well. If we've been procrastinating in any way, it's like, F this, I'm just going to do this now. That's what I personally see for this. So yeah, so I say that, guys, I know I've gone off on one, but yeah, this is like the spiritual aspect of it. And I did talk about the moon being in Virgo in the 3rd. I'll be doing a full video on the moon in Virgo, guys. But again, I do feel with this is like, you know, it's going to be an opposition to, you know, Pisces, the sun in Pisces, and also the fact that Saturn's going to be there. Like, with a lot of us, we're definitely going to be in our head. And whenever we talk about Pisces, we can't forget the other side of Virgo. It's like, on one hand, we want to be very spiritual. We want to be very creative. We want to be very charitable, helping others, having solitude, wanting to be alone. Obviously, the shadow side is like there can be some lies, distrust, and addictions. But on the other side, when it comes to Virgo, it's like, okay, we need law and order. We need order. We need to be precise. We need to be detail orientated. We need to take care of our health and wellness. We need to stay on track. We need to really take up what we're eating. So I feel like our mind is definitely going to be on this as well. It's like, okay, I want to be doing all this, but this is what I have to do as well. If I want to be the best that I can, this is what I have to do. And even if it is mundane, even if it is boring, in order for me to get to where I need to get to, this is what I need to do. Another theme I saw with this, a lot of planets, a lot of the energy is in, I think I spoke about this, a lot of it is in the 10th house. Saturn being in Pisces, a lot of the planets are in the 10th. And the 10th house is Aries. And that's one of the reasons why I said a lot, one of the reasons why I said that this Pisces, Saturn in Pisces is very Aries, is very go-getting. Things will happen very fast, guys. I don't know if you guys are feeling the energies now. It does feel like something is coming out to the surface. It does feel like energy is bubbling. It does feel like we have to really be on point and start something new. It does feel like we're going to be very much concentrating on the physical self, ourself, It can be an energy of selfishness as well and selflessness. But all in all, things are moving. Yeah, things are moving. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping, because remember we're in mutable time. I'm hoping it goes in the right direction. You just really never know. But the fact that the planets, what they're saying is that a lot of energy is in the 10th, and Aries is there, is that things are going to be bam, 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 bam. Aries also does rule fights. It also does rule conflict. It also does rule aggression. So we may see some of that coming up as well. Okay. So yeah. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to talk about the signs with the spiritual aspects, and let's get to it. I've also pulled out some angel oracle cards. These are like very spiritual angel oracle cards that can actually help us. So this is like video free. So let's start off with Aries, because like I said, a lot of the planets, a lot of energy is in Aries. So Aries, as you know, this is in your 12th house. Okay, we got Jupiter in your first as well. We also have, Mars in your, we've got Mars in Gemini as well, and you're actually ruled by Mars. So you're going to be, it's in your third. So you're going to be, although it's a time that, especially spiritually, because you're going to be feeling this Pisces energy so much, spiritually, you're going to be, we may or may not see a lot of you Aries during this transit for the next 3 years. You're still going to be making waves. I feel that you're going to be making your voice heard. You're going to be making sure that you're seen. But then you're going to be retreating. You're going to have that solitude. This is great for you to be having that spiritual practice. And I feel with Mars being in your third house, you're going to be getting quick downloads of, it could be futuristic things. It could be things that you could be doing. I feel that with Mars being there, with Saturn being in your 12th, is that if you are doing like a spiritual practice, it's great to diversify it, so you don't get bored. Finding spiritual ways in order for you to be grounded. So it could be walking, being near the beach. It could be lots of breath work. Lots of breath work I feel would definitely help you as well. Especially with Jupiter being there, you're going to be wanting to make strides, wanting to make waves, but you're still going to have to find ways to have that high and also that low. So, but I do feel Jupiter's going to be opening up gates during this transit for you to be seeing who needs help. And it's not just thinking about the self, it's also thinking about others as well, how you can help others. And when you're going into that meditation and it could be like, transitional meditation that they call it, or when you're going into that headspace of calm, you're going to be getting so much major downloads that you may not know which is right or which is not right. But I feel that sitting by yourself, when you at times, and having that alone time, but also listening to the body, you're going to be getting so much amazing things that's going to be happening to you, Aries. You just have to allow it to happen. You just have to allow it. And also, other themes I'm seeing is that you can definitely make, some of you actually, Aries, can make like a business, doing some spiritual work, doing some charitable work, especially if Uranus being in your second house. Definitely, it could just come on a whim. Some of you could be doing like an investments there. Also, especially with Neptune being in your 12th house, this is giving you this sort of like guided message and energy. And the North Node as well, this is going to be showing you how you can be charitable, how you can help others. The 12th house is about letting go, so you could be letting go of all these materialistic things that you no longer need, and that you no longer, that you no longer need. So it's a very highly involved spiritual time for you, Aries. Yes, you can build like a little business behind the scenes, but also you're connecting to the self. So the card you got is go for it. You got go for it. And it's about prayers and positivity. And, you know, the 12th house is about prayers. You are going to be letting go of stuff. You're also going to be manifesting things on a spiritual, higher vibration level. So it's just showing that whatever you are thinking, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're wanting to do, or maybe too afraid to do, or even getting in touch with your emotional self, go for it. It's saying that your prayers definitely will be answered. And there are people that are actually supporting you, and they're working behind the scenes that could be helping you. You just have to stay in the present path and not just constantly be gung-ho. Because this spiritual time for you, Aries, is a time of rest as well. So Taurus, with this activating your 11th house, you got a lot of this energy. I think I did say that some Tauruses will probably be the stars of the show. Because, you know, you got the node in your house. This is going to be carrying through for the next 3 years. You know, you're really, again, coming into your own, Taurus, you know. Yes, you do have, you definitely do have, you know, especially with Venus being in your 12th house, you know, there can be some hidden things that you're going to be doing during this time. But I feel for you, you know, because you got Jupiter in your 12th, although your 11th house is being played out big time on a spiritual aspect, you can, because I love the fact that Jupiter and Venus is in your 12th, because this can show where you can be helping, it could be underground groups, connect more with each other. Like you guys, if some of you Tauruses are not spiritually inclined, basically, you could be aligning yourself with people that are. And, you know, with Venus being in your 12th, it's like, they could be very beautiful people, but I feel it's more like a beautiful soul. They'll have like more like a beautiful energy. And this actually can be quite lucrative, because you Tauruses can actually be becoming more open to things that you didn't know that you had. Okay, and with Pluto being in your 9th, this is, you know, it can be something you can do with your partner, but also it can be, you know, your mind is going to be very, you could be quite closed in the beginning, but it could be very open to, oh, you know, just open in the fact that you could be quite cautious, but you could be thinking, oh, I didn't really know that I could be about this world. I thought it was just for like mystics, and you yourself, Tauruses, could also be very, you know, you could, some of you could, I'm not saying practice witchery, but you guys could be delving deep into the world of, you know, mysteries, or even it could be astrology. It could be some, I feel some of you may be doing some occult work as well. The 11th house is an Aquarius house, so it's not a house that's very grounded. So you guys may be, because you're going to be very, the ambitious time, you guys are going to be called to tap in to that subconscious side of yourself. And if you find it hard to do it by yourself, it's really great to align yourself with people that are. And yes, it could be very secret group, underground group. It could also be someone who knows someone who actually knows someone. And again, like I said, it could be lucrative, because you could also be reading up about books to do with like the higher realms of things, or metaphysics. And you have this eureka moment. You know, remember the North Node's in your sign, so this eureka moment of, oh, I actually want to know more about this. And you know, you tell someone who tells someone, and then you next you know, you're forming like a society, a group, an organization. And you know, there could be funds, people could want to invest as well, you know. So it's actually really great. I feel it's really great for a lot of you Tauruses to tap into a side that you guys have always been about. You're a very sensual sign, okay? You tend to focus much more on the material, which is, you're the 2nd house, but you are very grounded and spiritual in your own way, but you're also very sensual. So a lot of the Piscean energy, even though, excuse me, even though a lot of this Aries energy is activating your 12th house, really tap into that, because you can do something that no one else does as well. So the card that you have is you see only love. It's about looking past the errors and mistakes and misunderstandings of your past, and open yourself to love, but also open yourself to something that is hidden beneath you, hidden within you, and you want to bring it to the world. Because you Tauruses can also be teaching people. The 11th house is about gains, so you could also be teaching people something that is missed. Yes, it may take a while. Remember, you're going to be, there's going to be some restrictions, but you can just bring such a big awareness to like the world. The 11th house is also to do with, things that happen in 11th house. It really can travel to, the people. So yeah, well done to you, Taurus. Hello, Gemini. So Gemini, as you know, this is activating your 10th, sorry. So, your career is going to be very highlighted with this. But also you got Mars, which is in your sign. And, you got Mars, you got Mercury in Pisces, which is in your 10th. But you also got Venus and Jupiter in your 11th house. So I feel with this that I feel a lot of you, like especially spirit, because I'm going to be saying spiritually for all the signs. I feel that, some of you Geminis may decide, especially if you're tapping in to your higher vibration of your mind, to be doing some work that doesn't just benefit you. It can benefit the masses, and it can definitely improve your status. If by some bad luck that some of you Geminis, because remember, you can be very tricky sign. You can do things that are quite dodgy, and it ends up coming back to you. But you find a way to wiggle out of it. But this time, it may not be very easy to wiggle out of it. Okay, because all your mutables are, being seen. So yeah, so if by bad luck, any of some of you Geminis get caught doing anything dodgy, some of you can actually rebrand yourself. And also being honest as well, like, some of you could definitely get like a spiritual awakening in terms of your career, and actively just being more open about why you did what you did, or just like you're not really happy, because it could be an unhappiness that comes with this, Gemini. And you could actually meet someone who could actually help you find your like life path, your career path. It could be some of you could be mentors, or some of you could find a mentor. Some of you could also, because for some reason, a lot of signs are getting 12th house activation, and you're one of them, especially Uranus being there in your 12th. And if you didn't believe in all this spiritual thing, you might start to get a bit more. It could be very quick and very sudden, just like that. And also with Pluto being in your 8th house, this is about the occult, but it's also about fears. So I feel with a lot of Geminis, definitely, because you're mutable, you're all activated. I feel that anything emotional that comes up, especially when it comes to your career, and if you're doing anything that is great or not so great, it's about definitely looking into the past. I feel some of you definitely could benefit in either doing readings for yourself or reading for yourself, doing astrology, writing down your thoughts, aims and dreams, so you can just make a little bit more of a clearer understanding of what you want to do between now and the next 3 years. And this is going to be very pivotal time for a lot of you Gemini. So I feel really go within. Really try to go within. Yes, you're going to be very ambitious, but also the higher vibration of your mind is going to be calling, like, is this what you really want? What do you want? There's going to be some questions that can be definitely coming up for a lot of you. So, and especially with Mars being in your sign as well, you may want to go here, there, and everywhere. But emotionally and spiritually, it's going to be like, is this what you really want? Is this making you happy? So the card that you have is your heart chakra. So your heart chakra is really calling forth. Yes, you may be in your head a lot with this transit, but you can't deny, you know, Uranus being in your 12th, you can't deny that things are changing on a subconscious level. There's things that you're going to have to go away in order for something new to be coming. And especially Pluto being in your 8th as well, this is going to be transforming you emotionally. Yes, it's going to transform your finances, but it's going to be transforming you on a level that is delving deeper in order for you to, whether it's expand or just to transform in a very different way. So the heart chakra is about these matters that are definitely connecting to your heart with this transit. And it's basically saying it's really safe for you to be open. Don't be afraid, okay? Just, you know, yes, you got energies that is helping you with your friends and yourself, but also on a deeper emotional level, it's time to be honest. Cancers, so you're going to benefit from this because, you know, you've got this ninth house action. So I feel that it's not going to be very hard for you with this, you know, with this moon, because with the Saturn being in your sign, because we have like the nodes which is supporting you. It's in your it's in your 11th house, you know, your 11th and your 5th house. So regardless of what you're doing, the 9th house is a very spiritual house. It's a house of your beliefs. It's about prayer, spirituality, meditation. It's also to do with the courts and law. So a lot of you Cancers, you know, coming out from your 8th, going into your 9th, it's like, okay, I'm here now. I'm ready to see what I can learn. I'm ready for that mentor to come. I'm ready to be taught, or you could be that teacher. I feel a lot of you definitely could align yourself with a group or organization. And it's not, you know, you want to have fun, but it's all about you delving deeper. So reading books about metaphysical, reading books about, if you're new to meditation, you might start reading books about this. Some of you could actually bring out a book. You might just really buckle down, because before, your 8th house was playing a lot on you emotionally, you know, and you may have not, there's certain things that you did do, you started and you didn't complete, but now it's like, okay, it's go time. So you might be writing about things that happened in your past, and it could have very much a spiritual aspect to it. Especially the nodes are really, honestly, Cancers, the nodes are really helping you. You know, I feel that a lot of you, if you're like wishing, because it's a highly manifestation time, if you're like wishing for that editor or that illustrator, if you're reading about manifestations, if you're reading about the law of attractions, this is a brilliant time. And you could actually bring in positive people into your life. You know, Pluto in your it's a 29 degrees when this happens. And, you know, you're wrapping up a lot of things that happen within your personal relationships. So you could be signing a contract. You know, there could be, some of you may decide that you actually want to be alone, or you could be more intense. There could be an intensity or a marriage or proposal in a relationship. You know, you could be doing business with a new partnership as well. But also, a lot of you also could be, you know, feeling extremely more independent, you know, because you have, not only do you have the sun in your 9th as well, you have Mercury there, you have Venus in your 10th, and you've also got Jupiter in your 10th. And this is about, you know, to be seen, your status. So your status will definitely change. And you may change your job. You may decide to do your own business, or you may get a lot of opportunities. I could definitely see a lot of opportunities for Cancer. You just have to see it. And also, you know, you've got Mars in your 12th. Like I said, a lot of people got 12th house energy. Mars in your 12th is going to be giving this sort of like inner drive. It could be frustrations as well, that things are not moving quick enough. But also, It's going to be helping you spiritually, doing different types of spiritual practice too. So a great time for a lot of you Cancers. Highly manifestation time. So the card you got, there's nothing to worry about. Because even though things are really, I feel things are going to be happening for a lot of you Cancers and Capricorns as well, you could still worry. Like, is this too good to be true? Is, you know, I'm seeing things when I'm meditating. Is this real? Is, you know, are these people really helping me? Is this editor or is this, you know, all these things that you've manifested actually comes, you're like, I'm not really sure. You know, it seems people always want to help me. People want to be my friend, and you could be very suspicious. Yeah, so this card is saying there's nothing to worry about. It's about you are safe, and anything, any type of situation you're in is divine timing, and only put love in thought. So, like I said, when you're doing your manifestations, or if you're doing the what's the word? If you're like setting your intentions or gratitude lists, you're actually putting things out there that's going to be actually happening. So yes, so yeah, it's about love and thoughts and emotions, and things are coming all in divine timing because you've put it out there, Cancers. Not to say there's going to be some delays, because there will be, but it will all happen in divine timing. Hello, Leo. So Leo, with this activating your 8th house, you guys, like all the fire signs, are going to be feeling very, very sensitive. I spoke about this before, but it's going to be a good thing as well. You know, obviously see things, and even if things are slow, it's always going to be a good thing in the end. So yeah, so I say that, Leo, because although a lot of energy is in your 8th, you got Mars in your 11th, which is going to be helping you, you know. So even though some of you may actually feel quite alone, you might feel restricted with funds and everything, you know, with your partner's money, or there's like delays that happen with like debts and loans and taxes, inheritances. Mars being in your 11th can actually bring in people that can help you. People that can definitely help you. And also with Jupiter being in your 9th as well, again, a very manifestation time. Like if you feel very frustrated, it's like sitting with yourself and even like writing down whether you envision it, or what you would like to happen, who you would like in your life. It's like you're writing a story to yourself. Especially if things feel really bad. It's like, okay, this is happening. How can I raise my vibrations? I can see a lot of Leos reading books. I can see a lot of you reading books. It could be about all these manifestations, but it could also be about healing yourself. You know, because the 8th house can bring up past traumas. So you could be reading about healing yourself. You could even, again, start writing yourself, like putting something out there for the masses. And with Uranus being in your 10th house, this could be, you know, a new career for you. You know, the 8th house is about money from others, like the government. So if some of you are not working, you can build actually a new career just by the power of your creativity, just by the power of what's in your heart, because that's what you're ruled by. So yes, your career could definitely change. Some of you Leos, because you know Pluto's in your 7th, so you're going to be seen. Some of you Leos could definitely come up as being some sort of like guru, a mentor, helping younger people. Because remember, they're the next generation. You know, your career can change within a whim. With Neptune also being in your 8th as well, it's going to be heightening your spirituality. You may not be very consistent, but I mean, you may not be very consistent, but little steps is key. Okay, and especially with Pluto being in your 6th house, it's going to be giving you that sort of like diligence of, okay, just do like an hour a day. Just do this, because I'm telling you, Leos, a lot of you are going to be very much in your feelings. you know. So if you've got something that can help sort of like distract you in any way, whether it's through friends or whether through like your spirituality, through prayer, this can really help you during this Saturn transit, because it can feel quite heavy duty for some of you. So the card you got is assertiveness. And it's talking about the situation can be healed gently with love as you requested. So there's things that you are going to be things that you Leos will be putting out there. But it's about you having that remembering about the inner strength and truthfulness, especially when other people are involved. And there are people supporting you. You have spiritual guides. You have support. You know, even people that you didn't think will support you, Leos, they will definitely come through. So if you're in a bind, if you feel like you've lack of something, whether it's funds or you feel that people are not as loving, you're going to you will find people that will really help you. So you do have a lot of support, even though you got this 8th house energy. Like I said, you got support from friends that can help heal you, but also you got support by you raising your vibrations through reading and through prayer. So very powerful time, Leo. Hello, Virgo. So like all the mutables, you are in the hot seat, okay? So, you know, this is in your 7th house, 6 signs away from your 1st. And, you know, your physical is going to be physical body is going to be on your mind. And not only that, we've got the full moon, which is in your sign as well. So you're going to feel doubly heavily activated, Virgos. So when we come to the spiritual aspects, what could support you when it comes to your relationships, business and personal, and your partnerships and contracts, you have the nodes, which is in your 9th and your 3rd house. And with, you know, Taurus being there in your 9th, this is going to be giving you some serious downloads, Virgos, into who needs to be in your life. How do you define relationships? Some of you Virgos may get married during this transit, yeah? So there might be some spiritual weddings happening, but it's not going to be in a sense of how traditional weddings are. It's going to be very different. You could definitely want to get married to someone from a different culture that you're familiar with, but it's very different. And it could be from you get married in a different country. You know, if you were very receptive to getting close to anyone, or you could also see, okay, you know, if you're doing that work on yourself, the honest work, you could see, you know what, I was actually afraid because I got hurt in the past. So, you know, your beliefs would change about relationships now. Or if you were like a player, anything like that. It's just like some of you may decide to settle down. Some of you may decide you just want to be alone, because you may find that you're a bit more happier alone. Or like, you know, if you are in a you're going to be in a committed relationship, it's like this person is actually changing my life. I didn't know that in a relationship I had to do it all. It takes 2 of us. It's definitely baby steps are coming. You'll also see that communication on deeper truths, on deeper feelings is key. You may have decided that if I just serve my partner and not communicate how I feel, it's going to be okay. And your partner might be like, no, it's not okay. How are you really feeling? You know? Excuse me. With Jupiter also being in your 8th house, this is definitely transforming you. A partner, I feel, definitely can transform you, especially if they're from a different culture. Okay, and not necessarily different culture. I feel on one hand, yes, but on the other hand, they could be completely different from you. And they just really open you up more, like open up your wounds and fears and trials and tribulations. They can also help you when it comes to your finances. And, you know, you got the opposition to Saturn and Neptune in your house as well. So, you know, even you are like, you know, you might have this sort of like illusion and delusion when it comes to relationship. But Pluto in your 5th is also urging you, because it's coming out, it's a 29 degrees, to have some fun. Okay, it's not all about being serious too much. It's about having fun as well. Getting in contact, getting in tuned with your fun, but also getting in tune with your creativity. Just because you're having fun, Virgo, doesn't mean that you're not working. And I feel that you will definitely see this now. Mars being in your 10th there's gonna be some of you may work with your partner. Some of you could bring a whole new career. And I just saw this right now, that you could be doing like a career with your partner, but it's to do with like couples who are not like who find it hard to emote emotionally, and how you, or it could also be some of you Virgos could also be writing a book on how to, I don't know, open up more to your partner. And also, or it could be about how your partner can transform you into being like the better self. But also, it's not just about your partner, it's also to do with you. So something like that could be happening, and it could bring a different type of career for you. And it's actually a really good thing, Virgos. So the card that you have is be honest with yourself. Be honest. It's about looking into your heart, and you will know the truth of any situation. And also, it's about being safe. It's safe to admit how you feel, because you are very definitely being supported. So I feel that anything that happens within your 7th house, especially the planets, and it can definitely travel worldwide, but you're also going to be healing yourself. You could also be healing others, especially when we're speaking our truth through our heart and not just through our heads. So a very powerful time when it comes to your relationships, Virgo. Libra. So Libra, a lot of this is in your 6th house of your work, employment, your health and wellness. Okay, and on other aspects it could be to do with enemies, like open enemies, because it's 6th house from the 12th. So with you, like I said in my previous one, you know, listen out for that. I talk about it a bit more in depth. So you got Venus and you got Jupiter in your 7th house, you know. So what this shows me is that, you know, especially on the spiritual aspect side of things, you guys could definitely be doing a lot more things within your partnership, but they could be helping you. They could help you get on track. Like if you got work piled up, which I don't doubt that they won't be. I feel a lot of you Libras will be very busy underneath this. It's like you need to sort all of this out, and I feel your partner will help you. And again, career could definitely change. A lot of you may be self-employed or become self-employed. There could be definite change in your career. Some of you could be let go, but some of you could decide, you know what, I want to do something very creative. Your partner could really help you. Especially if you're the face of it, they could be like the book of it. Okay. Especially with Jupiter being there as well. Perfect time. Perfect time to be reading up about anything to do with like diets, wellness, fitness. Your partner could also help you with getting you on track when it comes to what you're eating and how your workout regime is as well. You got Mars in your 9th, which again is another thing I was going to say, guys, is that a lot of people have got 9th house energy activation. That's one of the reasons why I want to bring this spirituality aspect to it. So yeah, you got Mars in your 9th, and this is again a higher manifestations when it comes to drive and energy into learning about yes, spirituality, but also learn about how you can heal your body, how you can heal your mind. Because a lot of you Libras are going to be very busy mentally, it can play on you. It could bring anxiety. It can bring, for some of you, depression. It can bring, for some of you, being overloaded with thoughts and feelings that no longer serve you. Some things like meditation will really help you. Some of you may decide that certain things not working for your body, so you may go to the holistic route. So this is great to be getting in contact with a new doctor. They could be from a different culture. They could be from a different country. Or remember, the internet is big, but be mindful as well. You know, really do your research. But also, some of you may be like spiritually inclined to reading up about how you can heal your body through your mind by reading books, by doing mindful meditation, walking, trying like a new exercise, seeking out a spiritual teacher, doing yoga, because I've got Neptune in the 6th, so I feel that actually helps me myself. So I feel that if you're going to be doing anything spiritual, it's best to go to the people that sort of invented it, i.e., you know, if you're doing yoga, some of you may decide you want to go to Asian yoga teachers. You may want to start acupuncture. You may want to, that type of thing. You may want to go back to the drawing board, like who invented this? Who discovered this? You know? So all of these things can really happen. So with Mars being in your 9th, this is giving you that sort of investigative sort of way of, you know, if you something that can heal you, or something that if you've got anything chronic, or if you've got something that's in your mind and you just want to heal yourself, you might think, you know, it's best to go to the people that pioneered things, you know. So it's a great time for you. And also with Pluto and Capricorn, it's about going back to the drawing board. Some of these things are connected to anything that comes up is connected to your past. You know, if you're feeling that you're not connecting, if there's like not a mind-body connection happening, it's about connecting to home, about connecting to your past. It's about delving deep within that as well. And you can find out so many things about yourself, Libra. And especially if Uranus being in your 8th too, big time for a lot of you to be getting to the bottom of any stress or strains and hurts. So the card that you have is Child. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, but it says that about you caring deeply about children and they respond to your love. But it also could be the inner child within you as well. So I feel a lot of you may be healing an inner child within you. So, like, again, anything that comes up is something to do with the past that's happening. I feel that you're a mentor, something spiritual, definitely, but also something within your relationship could really help you. So very deep spiritual time for a lot of you Librans. So Scorpio, this is in your 5th house. So you're going to benefit from this. You, Taurus, Capricorns, Cancer. So this being in your 5th is a powerful time, you know. Yes, you're going to feel restrictions with it, but still it's going to be structuring you as well. You know, you've got the Sun in your 5th. You've got Mars in your 8th house, which is your house. So there is stuff that's going to be really coming up for you. You're going to be transforming yourself. I feel with some Scorpions, especially ones that have children, they could be transforming you in some way. Or some of you may decide to have children, and some of you can get pregnant as well. Obviously, this is general. You've got to look at other aspects as well. But if the theme of children come up, there's going to be this aspect of you being healed from it. And it also, if it's to do with like childhood experiences or even when you were a child, anything like that, you're going to be driven to, okay, I'm going to be the best parent I can, or I'm going to try and be the best person that I can. I'm not going to be living in the past type of thing. And again, you're ruled by the 8th, so you'll definitely know about how to transform yourself. But it's about transforming and not living within it. You got Jupiter in your 6th, and you also got Venus there as well. So anything connecting to creativity, you're going to be quite diligent. You're going to be, you know, you're a pretty patient sign. So you're all about working towards something tangible for the future. So yes, some of you could be doing certain things behind the scenes, but once you're ready to put it out there, you'll put it out there when you put it out there when it's proper, really, you know, really proper. You know, you could be, there could be a theme of you working for yourself, because the fifth house is about entrepreneurship as well. So I feel a lot of Scorpions are going to come with some creativity. Yes, it's a theme of you having certain creative people around you. We might be doing this by yourself. And yeah, and you know, again, with Uranus in your seventh, there could be some changes within your relationship, which is not a bad thing. You got the nodes in your first and seventh, so you are transforming yourself in a big way. It's not about clinginess. It's just like you're transforming yourself. Like, you know where you want to go, you know what you want to do. And with Pluto being in your third, like, your mind is very, very activated. You are very clear. You're very concise. You've the energy of positivity there. Yes, you may feel you want certain things to come very quickly and all at once, but once you tap in to your emotional, spiritual side, things will definitely happen. So the card you got is life purpose, and it's saying the purpose of your life is to serve a way that brings great joy to yourself and others. So in order, when you're gonna be healing, okay, you're gonna be healing yourself, and also you could be healing others as well. So I feel any creativity or any spirituality that you're bringing to the table, people will be very inspired. They'll be healed because you're speaking your truth. They'll be inspired, and they may, yes, people can copy, but people can also be like, I didn't know. Even you could be shocking your friends, shocking your siblings and neighbors about what you're about. And also, because there's going to be a new energy of you Scorpions, of being really serious, not just talking about things. You're going to be doing it as well. This can also shock a lot of people. But there can be some secrets that come out, but you may not know it as well, that while you're talking about these things and while you're thinking, I'm going to heal myself, you don't know how deeper the healing is going to be, because it can be healing so much more people. So if you're scared to be doing anything that you feel is outside your comfort zone, this card is also just saying go for it, because it's about your life purpose. And yeah, you've got a lot of quite pretty supportive energies that's happening for you, especially with the consistency. Sagittarius, so you know, like all the the fire signs, you're going to be going into an emotional zone in your fourth house. But when we come to like the planet messages that's going to be helping you with this, you have Venus and Jupiter in your fifth. Okay, so not only does this bring a bigger picture to when it comes to like your fourth house, when it comes to your home, family and roots, it's also highlighting children. Okay, it's also highlighting creativity, it's also highlighting fun. And even though the fourth house is not an easy house for you Capricorn, Sagittarians, you can also, again, heal yourself, definitely spiritually heal yourself through the arts, through what you used to do when you were younger, because the past is coming up big time. So a lot of you Capricorns might be looking back probably 30 years ago and thinking, you know what, I was really excited when I used to draw, when I used to sew, when I used to write, when I used to cook. Okay, you may be delving back into that. If some of you have children, or some of you are thinking about expanding your family in some way, or, you know, these things happen, conceive, and which I don't doubt it won't, you know, a lot of these themes can also be like, you know what, I'm going to, again, a bit like Scorpio, going to be trying to be the best parent I can, or it's going to be like, you know, any, like a child that comes into your life, it can actually help you with your past. It can help you remember your past, the positive and the negative as well. You also have Uranus and Taurus in your sixth, which is definitely highlighting your health, the mental health, the physical, your work life, your work balance. So You know, I feel that you guys will be very much tapping into the body, tapping into that the subconscious of the mind. You could be reading a lot about metaphysics, reading about health, wellness. I feel that some of you definitely could meditate because, like Leo, a lot of fire signs may not feel it's very easy, you know, because when anything enters the fourth house, or the fourth, the 12th, or any of those houses, it's not you know, especially if you're a go person, you don't want to be slowed down. And sometimes when we are slowed down, it's because we need to go within. So when you're having that downtime, if certain like images or things from the thing, her past hurts keep coming up, it's really this is about saying sit with it because you need to work with it. So sitting with it, doing some type of yoga or meditation. You could be guided to be, if you're one of those Sagittarius that like pushes weights all the time and heavy weights, and you feel it's hurting you or anything like that. You could be guided to do something slower, stretching more, meditation, eccentrics, Pilates, that type of thing. And even how you're eating, because this can also help with eating as well. But do it in the way that helps you. You also have Neptune in the fourth as well. We have Pluto in your second house of money. And, you know, your money-wise, I feel it's not been the greatest. I feel that a lot of you will see that. But some of you may be starting to invest more into like something that's quite tangible, something that can help others, even something that can help you. You probably be pouring into, you probably invest in a type of creativity, vendor, or anything that it could be you buying your old family home. You know, even me speaking, I feel very sensitive. You know, because I don't know, maybe I'm tapping into the Sagittarian energy, but yeah, it feels very sensitive. But you do have, you know, you got Mars in your seventh, which is about your relationships. And this could bring probably clashes, but I feel if it constantly keeps happening, it's about looking why you need things to be moving fast, why you want to constantly change, why can't you slow down? You know, I feel your partner could really help you. Even though some of you may want to have a lot of fun, definitely a time to slow down, but looking towards the past as well. What made you happy? Why certain things keep coming up? Okay, so you got a card that says reward yourself. It's about you being given a lot of yourself lately, and it's time for you to receive. So some of you Sagittarians are doing that. You're going to be receiving. But if some of you Sagittarians are thinking that you're giving a lot to others and you're not, reverse can happen as well. This card is also about balance and about giving and receiving. So I think if you're giving spiritually and emotionally and healing yourself, you're going to receive. So whatever you put out there, you're going to receive, especially Uranus being in your sixth. Like again, I said, even though it's a fourth house action, it's across the board. It's about your relationships. It's about your wellness, your health, wellness. It's about your mental health. It's about your past. A lot of themes are coming up now, Sagittarius, and a lot of it starts off in the mind. So once we ground and get to the bottom of things, everything else will flow. Okay. So Capricorn, all of this energy with Saturn in your third house is going to be bringing huge spiritual aspects to you, especially with your mind and also your creativity. Things are going to be broadened, your horizons, everything. You have Jupiter in your fourth with Venus there. So a lot of you could be doing a lot of work, even business from home, in the comfort of your home, where you have peace and quiet. Yes, you may have your family around you, but you can work to like your own schedule, because you'll find with this transit that your mind won't be as fast. It's not in a bad way. It's just that you just some of you probably just need time to make things. It could be feeling things or just things that, you know, processing things. It can just take a while, and you don't want to be rushed. You want to, yeah, you don't really want to be rushed. and nor should you. So yeah, I could see a lot of that action happening. And also this will be bringing you a lot of time to take care of yourself, doing self-care work. Again, a lot of all of the signs are going to be meditating in their own way. And Pisces ruling your third house with Neptune there, this will bring a huge, bigger awareness of what you need to do to take care of yourself. Because the third house, even though it's you're getting sextiled emotionally and mentally, you can get, your intuition can be very heightened and it could scare you. So doing things to help ground you closer to home is of benefit. You got Mars in the third, you got Mars in your sixth house in Gemini. And again, this is about self-care for the mind, body and soul. I can see a lot of you Capricorns, you know, because Pluto is in 29 degrees in your sign, but it's coming out. And a lot of you Capricorns went through a lot for the past 15 years. And this is like a culmination of endings, a conclusion. So if you wanted to like really try and take care of yourself physically, mentally and emotionally, you can now, some of you, you know, in the beginning, if you did it, you can now start to see like results. But some of you may decide that you probably sort of did it and now you're going to do it now. And with Mars being in your six, it's like go time. So because you're ruled by the skeletal system, Capricorns, the knees, you know, the teeth, the bones, this is a great time to be strengthening the bones. Because when you do strengthen work, whether it's Pilates, especially using weights, it helps strengthen the mind. So doing weight lifting, this is just a suggestion. You don't have to, but I would say if you want to strengthen your whole body in a creative way, doing strength training, it can also help with your meditation work as well. So you know, you work out, then you can meditate. So you can do that. And Mars being in your sixth, it gives you variety. So strength training one day, cardio next day, strength training, and also with yoga. And so there's a lot that you could do. You know, you're going to also see that your work life is going to be changing and you don't want to live in that fast-paced life anymore. You know, so, and Uranus in Taurus in your fifth is giving you that whole creative dream. This is also to do with children. So some of you, again, may have had children during this past 15 years, or some of you may have children, or you're thinking about, all these things can happen when it comes to children. It's definitely going to be making you want to be more closer to home. And all this spiritual practice you're going to be doing or implementing in your daily routine is going to be helping you, especially when things are changing in your life and within your mind. So, and the nodes being in your fifth and your 11th houses as well. Such a powerful time for a lot of you Capricorns, such a brilliant time to be surrounding yourself, because you know, I feel that your group, your friendship will change into a smaller group as well. Could be mother and baby groups, or it could be a group that, or it could be you being in creative groups. So the card that you have is acceptance, and it's saying about, you know, you're seeing yourself and others through the eyes of angels. It's about unconditional love, and it's also saying that you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. So again, another thing I was going to say for you Capricorns is that some of you may be big writers like Cancer. You may be putting out some writing, some books, some blogs, some podcasts. A great time to be doing it, especially in the comfort of your home. I do feel a lot of you Capricorns are wanting to be home a lot more. Yes, you're ambitious, but your ambition is more different now. And that whole, and also with Pisces being in your third house, it can bring up so much emotions. So grounding yourself with any type of spiritual practice will also help with your creativity, with your writing, but also bringing you more closer to home. Aquarius. So Aquarius, this is in your second house. You know, Saturn's come out of you, it's coming out and is out of your house. And in terms of like a spiritual side to this for you, yes, it's in your second of self-worth. You know, taking care of yourself, you know, money, spending, what you're eating as well. Yeah, some of you definitely, I feel, will be investing in like certain organizations, you know, things that are close to your heart. But also you have Venus in Aries in your third, and you also got Jupiter there. So again, this is the third house thing, and this can bring you more into a spiritual sense of, I feel some of you, if some of you Aquarian, especially when Saturn was in your house, was very much into that tangible results, was very materialistic, didn't want to part with your money because you felt that you had less. You felt that you were not going to have enough. It could have been greed that came up as well. Now that you, especially if you've got like the Jupiter and Venus in your third, you may be a bit more generous. You may be, some of you could be, especially if you're rich, you could be investing in your neighborhood. Could be, you could be investing in like small groups, your friendship circle as well. You could also be investing in and learning about different kinds of spiritualized practices. It could be occult work. It could also be something to do with like calming the mind. I'm picking up like control of the mind, because you know when Pluto goes into your sign, your nervous system's going to rev up, and you may be wanting to like work with this energy now before it just gets too crazy. So Jupiter can expand your, it can expand you to like certain different types of people, different types of groups, different teachers as well. They can help guide you in the right direction. You got Uranus in your fourth. So yes, during this transit, there are going to be lots of changes in your home. Some of you may be very much welcoming these changes. It could be disturbing you in some point. So by you learning about different types of ways to calm you down, it will really help. Okay, it will really help. It will really help with you. Yeah, basically, it will just really help a lot of you. Okay, because especially lots of these changes that are happening, secrets that are coming out, and things to do with like your parents could be coming out as well, and or you'll be delving deeper into like your past. It could shock a lot of you. Okay, so coming back to the breath, doing lots of breath work, essential. Capricorn in your 12th house, beautiful time. Because sorry, Pluto in your 12th house was showing you Aquarians to be a bit more diligent when it came to spirituality, when it came to releasing and letting go. It may have been very hard. Some of you are probably still finding it hard, but some of you also found relief in helping others, doing charitable work, spiritual work. Okay. And the nodes, again, in your fourth and in your 10th house, your career is highlighted, but so is your home life. And there was this push and pull that was going on. Some of you may not have really enjoyed Saturn in your sign, only because you got the square to Uranus, which you're ruled by. So life may have been very up and down. So it may have been no wonder why a lot of you felt that you had to cling on to something. And now, with this whole energy of Saturn being in your second as well, you're starting to let go. You're starting to be a bit more generous. You're starting to see, you know what? Okay, it's not really working anymore. So the card you got is innocence. And it's saying about, you know, giving any guilt, anger, or blame away, like letting go, enjoy the peace within your heart once more. So there might be an innocence that comes up. I feel this is more about releasing and letting go. I feel this is more like you guys like surrendering to the divine. I feel that when you do like any type of like breath work or seeing like a teacher or someone that can help guide you to be a bit more calmer, you know, you're going to start seeing life very differently, like even the world very differently during this 3-year transit. So a very, very deep spiritual time for you, Aquarius. And last, of course, the star of the show, which is Pisces. And Pisces, you guys, like I said, you're the star of the show. And it's going to be a very eventful time for you. Okay. A lot of the energies, we got a lot of planets in Pisces during this. We got Mercury there. We got the sun there. We also have, we got the sun there. We got Mercury there. We have Saturn there. We have Neptune, all in your sign. So it might feel a bit like an outer body experience for you guys. Okay. Obviously, emphasis is on the self, but also on the health of the self, the mental, physical, and emotional. And also with Virgo being in the third, with this, it's like, oh, okay, you know, you have good intentions, but then things can fall by the wayside. You may be wanting to be, not logical, but you may wanting to be very focused on keeping yourself healthy, but also getting down to work. Because I see a lot of Pisceans very ambitious. Like I said, a lot of energy of this is not only in your sign, but it's a lot of it's in the 10th house, which Aries is there, which rules your 2nd house. Okay. And Aries, Mars rules your 9th. So you guys are very, very driven, I'll say, into bettering yourself, into making something of yourself. We could see a stronger, different Pisces coming out now. It could be many things. It could be one of those Pisces that are very driven by materialism. There could be, because they call it the whale Pisces, the ones that are very like business people, very ruthless, very, ruthless in terms of building wealth, money, not caring about others, but not caring, being highly psychic. So some of you can be extremely successful because Mercury's there. So your mind could actually see things before they actually happen. You could also, a lot of you could also be very transformed. You know, when it comes to like your money, shared resources, and that could definitely be transformed. Yes, you're gonna get restrictions as well, but Saturn is on your ass. It's saying it's time to take care of business, but it's also time to take care of yourself. I don't know if you guys have seen a lot of astrologers and even reading up about with Saturn in Pisces, especially reading up about Saturn in Pisces, where they say that, you know, when it's in your 12th, that's when you have to do the work. When it's in your first, things are a little bit easier. Some of you may not have done the work in the 12th, and that's fine because you meant to do the bare minimum anyway. But when it goes into the first, I feel that if you've done some of the work in the 12th, and when it goes into the first, you're halfway there. Okay, just keep going at it. And that's what the moon in Virgo is showing you. You got, like I said, you got Venus and you got Mars, you got Jupiter in your 2nd. So a lot of you, I feel, will be very driven when it comes to like money. But also you could be sharing it to others as well. Like you're building something, like sharing it to your family, sharing it in like a community, donating. I can see some of you like donating to certain organizations and groups as well. There can be some friendships that leave your life, but there's certain friends that can come into your life that can be very beneficial to your life as well. I can see some of that happening. There could be also a bit highly sexualized Pisces, not in a rude way, but some of you could really come into your own because you're feeling good within yourself. Like you feel healthy, you feel fit, or you're getting there, and you feel like you can just bring something out of yourself. And with Uranus being in your 3rd as well, your mind's going to be on fire. You know, yes, you can be changing a lot, changing certain things in your life, but also there might be an element of consistency that's coming up for you guys. Uranus being in your third, if any of you Pisces are, and I don't doubt it is, because the sun of this is in the ninth house, which is about spirituality and higher learning. So I feel that on the whole, everyone is going to be looking into all those realms of higher learning. There's going to be things to do with like the law, courts, churches, spiritual. All of these things are going to be highlighted because of the sun in the ninth, and you more so than others. But I feel with you, because the sun's in the ninth, Uranus is in your third, you're going to be practicing different types of spirituality, different types of courses. This is great. Again, I said in my previous one, I can see a lot of Pisceans, a lot more of you writing, okay? A lot more of you bringing out books. If you've been doing certain things behind the scenes, like from when Saturn was in your 12th, a lot could be, you could be bringing it out now. There could be lots of gains from almost like wishful thinking, like if you've been practicing or meditating, or trying different types of meditation, manifestations. Some of you may have manifested someone to help you with your creativity and they just come. You also may feel that things feel too good to be true because Neptune's in your sign as well. But remember, Pisces, it's because you've manifested it. This is what you needed. And with Pluto also being in your 11th as well, you know, you're going to feel more powerful. You're going to be more ambitious. A lot of you will come into your own. There's certain people that will be in your life. They may be very powerful as well. They can help you. Again, I feel a lot of you have manifested it. Okay. So a huge time for a lot of you. So the card that you got is focus on service. And it's saying about your soul desires only to be joyfully serve and to swim in constant streams of bliss. And it's about putting your entire focus upon staying in the stream of giving. So again, when I said I see a lot of Pisceans being very headstrong in going for what they want, you know, the shadow side and being very materialistic, and there's nothing wrong in that, but it's how you go about it. Remember, you and Virgo's about service, okay, in a different way. We're trying to make the world a better place. Pluto's coming out of Capricorn. Pluto's, even though since Capricorn, it's out, okay? It's edging out. So we're going to like Aquarius now. So we're not about that life of being about the self, being selfish, with capitalism, material. We're not about that life. So I feel if any of you were like that, you'll start seeing like, oh, it's not actually working anymore. I don't have to work 50 hours a week in order to get gains. I can just work part-time. But also it's about making the world a better place. So any creativity or spirituality you're put into the masses in the world, it is for others. It is to inspire others. It's to heal others. Remember, this is what we are here to do, Pisces. So when it says focus on service, also service to yourself. Focus on trying to keep yourself healthy, your mind, body, and soul. Try and keep to the upstream and not the downstream. It may not be easy, but I think if you're doing like if you're halfway doing it, you're there, Pisces. Okay. So guys, that was the video for the spiritual aspects for Pisces for all the signs. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like I said, I had this download of doing it. So thank you so much. I think a lot of you may start seeing a lot more of, because this Saturn in Pisces is so special. That's why you've seen a lot of astrologers and tarot readers talking about it, because we've come through an end of a 30-year cycle, guys. And like I said, when I looked into it, I understood why it was so powerful, because a lot of the energy is in Aries, which is we're ending, but we are also beginning. So guys, thank you so much. It's a pretty long video, which most of my videos are. If you've stayed throughout the whole thing, once again, thank you. And I will speak to you guys very soon with the Virgo full moon. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.